Okay, the next two seminars, 7 and 8, are about the flat back 4 again, however, this time from a different point of view. After that, we are going to discuss the topic of pressing. Seminars 7 and 8 are a bit shorter as there is some risk to repeat myself from time to time now, as already the case in parts of Seminar 5 and 6. The little details from Seminar 1 to 4 are repeating themselves now more and more. The concept of doubling up itself will certainly not change. However, there are some differences when it comes to sharing responsibilities of certain players. I mentioned earlier that all this can be seen as a puzzle, where all the little pieces fall into place now. Both Seminars 7 and 8 are seen as preparation tools for upcoming games and how to address specific characteristics of opponents. We will now discuss how do we prepare as a team for our upcoming game next weekend, where the opposing team plays with 2 center forwards. In Seminar 8 we are going to look at the situation when opponents play with 1 center forward. If there is only 1 center forward, the team will also play with an attacking midfielder behind, or it is the classic 4-3-3 that Holland played for years. If opponents play with 2 center forwards, we assume that the opponents have 2 good quality players in these positions. I would not play with 2 center forwards if they don't possess certain qualities. If I have good dribblers at my disposal and less qualified players in central areas, I would prefer to play a 4-3-3 instead. We want to focus on flat back 4, midfield and the goalkeeper. We want to discuss how to play against 2 center forwards from these angles. There is some repetition for you as we discussed certain points already before, but I will skip these to focus more on new information here. It is important to me to highlight the details of playing against 2 center forwards versus playing against 1 center forward in Seminar 8. How do we take care of the attacking midfielder? This is not as easy as times as we witnessed situations at the recent World Cup, where the opponents are able to put the back 4 into difficult situations. I mentioned that before when looking at the shifting of the fullback. I also taught this topic differently about 7 or 8 years ago. When I wrote my book in 2000, the concept of the flat back 4 was taught and delivered differently. At that time, I was a fan of shifting further to one side. Today, there are many opponents that come up with solutions to play against a good organized defensive team by teaching their players the appropriate and effective attacking strategies. There are attacking strategies that I will also present in a few months, but they are not part of this seminar, of course. There are strategies where the back 4 can get into serious trouble. I showed many suited examples for that. It looks great when the back 4 is quite comfortable, but it will be way more difficult if opponents come up with good solutions for this. This is an important aspect in a game. Everything is developing more and more. If I would teach the same topic again in about 5 years, and some of you would be attending again, I would most likely come up with some other details. That's reality. The game of soccer is constantly developing. The best example is the position of goalkeeper. I remember when the goalkeeper was allowed to pick up a pass back. This has changed drastically. With the sweeper, there was no responsibility for a goalkeeper when it comes to initiating attacks. He stood on his goal line and that was it. He is now forced to control the space behind the back 4. He must be more alert and active. All goalkeepers in our program must learn how to master the ball with their feet. Being able to play with both feet comfortably, to be able to act as a supporting player in the back. This should be enough for now as an introduction to this part. This Seminar 7 is all about how a back 4 adjusts tactically when opponents play with 2 center forwards. We want to analyze different tactical behaviors here. Again, this seminar content won't be the be-all end-all, as I could probably teach this topic the entire day, if I would focus on every little detail. This would certainly not be in your interest either. It is important to understand the basic concepts when playing against a team with 2 center forwards.